Are you saying she shouldn't take the floor? Why are you saying she shouldn't take the floor? She has the floor. Why are you shouting?
Monsieur le Président.
Honorable President, we are here representing our respective countries and representing Africa. I get the impression that the parliament is South Africa. A parliamentarian from South Africa saying that we should move forward. We did not come here to go for walks. We are here to follow our rules of procedure, and I support what Honorable Nkodo has said. If you are not meant to be sitting in the bureau, you need to resign. We are here. We've defined rules, and we are going to elect those who are going to continue with leading the Pan-African Parliament. It's not just for South Africa, it's for the entire continent. North, West, Central Africa, Eastern Africa, Southern Africa. But then there's a group of people that want to grab the Pan-African Parliament for themselves. And that is why I was asking for the floor. I come from West Africa, and I am supporting the candidacy of our West African candidate. Thank you.
Je demande la parole, Monsieur le Président.
Honorable President, could I please have the floor? Could I please have the floor?
On a point of order, Chair, I'm here.
Yes.
There is no ruling that says we are going to ask questions. We are debating the report. And if people have got nothing to say on the debate, they must keep quiet. No one is going to ask any teacher questions here. We're parliamentarians. We're debating the report. And that's what we're doing here. And the honorable member on the floor is in order. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Malema.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think we need to stick to the issue of time. That no one should be given more time, irrespective of who they were. We must agree first that the principle of rotation is not a principle of sharing power. That certain people think that they must have power over others. The principle of rotation is to unite the continent. And if we are concerned about the unity of the continent, then we'll not have a problem about the principle of rotation. We must first understand its purpose. And if you have a problem with the type of a candidature that Southern Africa is presenting, for instance, you will rather say, we agree with the rotation and therefore will suggest that the North must take it. Let the debate be about which regions have not received and which region will you support. Not that the regions who have never received must wait for some ratification to apply a principle that seeks to unite the continent. The forefathers who came before us wanted to eliminate unnecessary contestation amongst Africans by coming up with these democratic principles which will cover all the regions. If you're concerned about the unity of this continent and you are not serving the interest of the imperialist and colonialist, you will never have a difficulty on application of a principle that will unite Africans. And that's what this body is about. So it is so embarrassing that former leaders of this institution can do everything in their power to divide this institution and to undermine the legitimacy of this institution. You can use your majority and keep this power and this presidency in your regions. And if that is the unity of Africa you are talking about, that power must only circulate in your regions, go on with it. But be aware that you are serving the interest of imperialism that seeks to keep us divided. The unity of this continent will not wait for ratification of anything. Yes. The unity of this continent needs us to apply it as in yesterday. Yes. We don't require any ratification of anything for us to be united. And anyone who says we require ratification that person doesn't know what unity is about. Unity is about us coming together with a paper or no paper. When you see an African saying, this is what will unite.
Point of order.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Please,
Mr. President.
Please.
That people seem to be pulling the cover towards them. And this should not be the case. We need to unite all African countries so that we speak with one voice. We do not need to talk about West Africa, North Africa, Southern Africa. We need to talk about Africa as a whole. It is the reason why we have been mobilized. In my opinion, we need to understand each other on this. Rotation is not relevant for this election. Rotation is not relevant. There are even countries that have not ratified the protocol. Once countries have all agreed and ratified.
Point of order. Point of order. Point of order. Point of order.
Je voudrais.
Like.
Point of order. What is your point of order and on which rules?
My point of order is
if you make a point of order, it must be based on
everything is relevant to us to discuss.
Please, if you cannot answer the question on which rules, on the basis of which rule are you making your point of order? There must be a reason. Your point of order is not to start a debate. It's either somebody who is speaking is saying something incorrect, you want to correct, or something is wrong. But you can't just start point of order and then you start debating. When are we going to finish here? Please.
Monsieur le Président.
Honorable President, I believe that I have the floor.
If you make a point of order, you must base it on a rule. If not, I give you no floor. Please continue, Honorable. Continue, Honorable.
I was saying, Honorable President, that I have been listening to sterile debates that are not making us advance. Our mission is not to come here and have useless deliberations that have no meaning. And this is the case when we're talking about the chairpersonship of this session. Who would have chaired the session if it's not the outgoing president? Let's be clear and honest. The president continues until he's replaced. And we took oath before him. We accepted to do this. So why did we feel we should not continue having deliberations with him and create problems unnecessarily? Let's stop this. Let's stop this. Let me continue. Point of order. Point of order. I'll continue with my remarks. It is clearly stated. It is clearly stated. Point of order, says the Honorable Member of Parliament. It is clearly said that the President chairs all sessions, and that is sorted out. I listened to the activity report. Honorable President, I listened to the activity report being presented. In this report, point of order. Point of order.
What is your point of order?
Before we took the floor, we were told to stay within the context of the report. Every time
On which rule is he rising?
On which rule?
I'm talking about the report.
Which rule is the point of order?
There is no rule that said so.
Honorable President, you said that we should only focus on the activity reports, and we should not have discussions outside the report. For some people, you call them to order, and for others, you do not. You need to manage these deliberations with equity. So it is only one person. What is going to...
Honorable Alderamos Sawatome. Honorable Alderamos Sawatome. Are you...
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
In all fairness, I have submitted my name before a speaker. She was behind me, the lady from Egypt. You have not recognized me. I do not know whether I'm on that list. Why has my name been omitted while I submitted before her? I have a right to be heard, Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Wait. You had all the day today. Honorable Chair, when members are speaking here, with all their experiences, we should always respect one another. Respect is very fundamental to the growth of any organization globally and here at home. A young advocate was talking about her experience as an advocate. Honorable Chair, I am a leader of opposition of a country who has experience in conflict. No leader can argue that a rule must first be adopted for it to be implemented. No person can argue that something good must first be enacted as a law before it is implemented as a good practice and a good policy. The very fundamental reason why the African Union since its inception speaks of rotational leadership is to avoid the conflict that we are heading to. There is a big problem in this report. The biggest problem is there is disunity within the Pan-African Parliament. A disunity between the Western Caucasus and especially led by languages, the Francophone, the Anglophone are the biggest problems. And if we are not harmonizing those two groups, there won't be unity. And I want to put it to the conscience of my brothers from West and sisters from Western Africa, and especially the Francophone. You are using the tyranny of numbers to consistently lead. Yes, you are using the tyranny of numbers. You are using the tyranny of numbers.
Monsieur le Président, c'est pas correct. C'est pas correct. Monsieur le Président.
Honorable President, this is not correct. This is not normal. This shouldn't be allowed. Honorable President, Honorable President, Honorable President, point of order, point of order, point of order. This is not true. When it's them, you let them go ahead.
If we want to have peace, if we want to have unity, we must have a principle of rotation. It can't be you all the time. It can't be you all the time and think that unity will come. I speak to your conscience, bring your conscience, and make sure that give others a chance to lead the African Union too.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable.
Chair.